Well, yesterday marked 17 years since the 9/11 terror attacks, which devastated the United States of America and shocked the rest of the world. Almost 2 decades on, there are reflective reminders of the horrific day as the world pays tribute to victims of multiple attacks.
America is marking the 17th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City. 9/11 goes down in history as the deadliest terrorist attacks on American soil. It involved a series of airline hijackings and suicide attacks committed by 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda against targets in the United States, killing about 3,000 people, with over 6,000 others injured and causing at least $10 billion in infrastructure and property damage. The National Commission on Terrorist Attacks, set up in 2002, identified Khalid Sheikh Mohammed of Kuwait and Osama bin Laden of Saudi Arabia as masterminds of the attacks, while Al-Qaeda provided the personnel, money, and logistical support. No doubt, the September 11 attacks were an enormous tactical success for Al-Qaeda. The strikes were well coordinated and hit multiple targets. The attacks were magnified by being broadcast around the world to an audience of untold millions. The Trump administration has clearly shown dedication to the America First philosophy to forestall a recurrence of 9/11 with a foreign policy with focus on security. President Trump has claimed that immigration is negatively changing the culture of Europe, saying a fence built along Israel's border with Egypt has been a great success in keeping out migrants, mainly from African nations. The process of building a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border started weeks after President Trump's inauguration. Under the Trump leadership, the Department of Homeland Security released enhanced security measures to ensure safer commercial air travel. In a statement, Deputy White House Press Secretary Raj Shah said President Trump has raised the bar for the nation's aviation safety and security. Unquote. The president is pleased there were no commercial airline deaths in 2017 and hopes this remains consistent in 2018 and beyond. Part of the security measures included a laptop ban from the cabins on certain international flights to the United States. As the U.S. marks the 17th anniversary of 9/11, more than 1,100 victims of the attacks have yet to be identified. But with progress in technology, efforts are still on in a New York lab to identify the remains of many in the mass cremation. On a brighter note, a New York City subway station has reopened for the first time since it was destroyed 17 years ago. This year, the first couple will head to Philadelphia to participate in Tuesday's Samba Remembrance in Shanksville, where hijackers crashed a California-bound commercial airliner on September 11, 2001. As America and the rest of the world remember the Black Day in modern history, 9/11, there is need to continually decry terrorism in all its forms and promote the UN cause for a peaceful world.
Well, about 1 million people have taken to the streets of Barcelona to mark Catalonia's National Day and show continued support for independence. Catalan Regional President Quim Torra and his predecessor Charles Puigdemont, who fled into exile in Belgium after the failed independence bid, had urged people to demonstrate. Tuesday's day, the holiday marks the day Barcelona fell to the soldiers of King Philip V in 1714 and for the past 8 years have been used as a rallying point for independence. It is the first such celebration since Catalonia had a referendum on independence on October the 1st last year and then unilaterally declared independence on 27th of October. While former Brazilian President Lula da Silva has pulled out of next month's presidential elections, allowing his running mate to stand in his place. Workers' Party leader Gelsy Hoffmann announced the decision outside the police headquarters, where the 72-year-old is serving a 12-year sentence. Brazil's top electoral court barred Lula's candidacy less than 2 weeks ago due to his corruption conviction. The move comes a day after far-right candidate was stabbed at a rally.